Hello, hello, hello. What's up, good people? Make sure we are here and y'all can see okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Hey, do me a favor, y'all, if y'all can hear me and see me coming in all right. Once you put a yes down in the chat, want to make sure we are streaming out where we should be actually streaming out to and that we are live and good to go. All right. All right, cool. There we go.
There we go.
So do me a favor, y'all. Like I said, leave a comment for me. Let me know below that we are good. We are streaming on the Traffic Sales and Profit YouTube page, right? Talking about YouTube growth secrets for September 2024. Make you sure you get all your friends, right? Tag your biz besties, get them into the room because got a lot of great information to cover and to make sure, again, y'all know what we're doing, right? We're on a journey, a 90-day journey where we say we are going to actually grow two pages. Now,
Yep.
I love the fact that it's two pages. I know a lot of people will say, well, Lamar, Traffic Sales and Profit is a big brand. You guys doing all of this. We've had like a page for years over TSP, but it's mostly been dormant. So those of you just watching to say, hey, you know what? You have a page and you might not have done the things you want to do with it. You haven't engaged as much. Maybe you did, but you stopped because life got in the way. That
Yeah.
TSP page is for you, and what we're doing is like kind of tied in, locked in straight to that. On the other side of it, right? On the other side of it, what's up, Jen? Good to see you on here. The other side of it, we got the Convo page. Now, the Convo page we're not focused on pretty much at all, right? I think we're at like 100, subscribers or so. I'll bring Gerald on in a second. He'll be able to pinpoint that before we got started on this journey. And the thing is, hey, we want to grow that from scratch. So, that's what we're going to talk about today, too. So whether you're in either one of those buckets, I got something I'm building from scratch or something I had, I let kind of slow down or die down. I want to get it back up. Today's conversation is for you. We're going to talk about hitting two goals. We had two big goals that we had for this 90 days, and we hit them. We're going to talk about that, talk about what's next. We're also going to talk about monetization because one of those channels we were able to monetize. And let's talk about what it's going to take to monetize the other one, right? We're going to talk about split tests, right? Because Gerald did some split tests that made a massive impact on what we got and more, right? We got a lot we're going to cover in this few minutes. But let me bring to the stage my partner in this initiative, right? Mr. Gerald Harris. What's up, Gerald?
What's going on? What's going on, TSP family? Can't wait to get into it. Can't wait to get into it.
All right, so Gerald, man, let's first start off by telling the people we hit two big milestones, right? We had two goals. We started this thing off and said, hey, the
Right.
90-day stretches we want to do, and we hit them. And I'll be honest, the last time we was on last month, I was like, I don't know if this was the smartest thing to do this publicly, right? Because I'd never done nothing public where we're like, hey, we're gonna do this, and y'all can follow along, like for the mastermind, but not the
Yeah.
public. But we closed a
Yeah.
lot of ground, man. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, on the combo channel, I think when I first started, we were like somewhere around 228. Now, on the convo, if you all not subscribed yet, go ahead and go to watch the convo. Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. On the convo channel, we are pretty much able to 5x. In other words, five times or almost five times that subscriber growth. Everything is up. Watch time is up. Analytics are up. Likes, engagement, everything is up on that channel. And it has to do with not necessarily making massive changes. It's really looking at data and seeing what the audience wants, right? Not necessarily bombarding them with a ton of content, but creating an experience over there on that channel. At the same time, digging into some additional things as well. So the convo, if you all haven't subscribed to that yet, I'm telling you, that channel, I'm looking at both channels. That channel, because of the content and the engagement, is definitely primed for growth. Definitely.
All right, and then you want to talk about the TSP page a little bit too. What you seeing over there?
So the TSP, when I went ahead and I got on, I just saw a ton of content. As I began to dig into the content, into the analytics, the thing I saw was, once again, number one, scheduling out, first of all, doing announcements, right? I do these things, and you can do these things. All of you can do them on the channels. It's called community posts, where you can go ahead and let people know that content is coming. And so the first thing I did was started doing community posts just as an announcement. Second thing I did was just digging into the analytics and beginning to realize, you know what? This channel doesn't need as much content as what's going on over there. So I went ahead, structured some things in the back office, some SEO, updated some of the playlists, started cranking out content slowly but surely. But the biggest thing was the SEO and the title description, as well as certain things I do: comment pinning, putting videos in comments, putting videos in the description, as well as when people commenting them back with something of value, so that you begin to increase that watch time. As that begin to keep up, and then we got the Master P video, and that just set it off. And just set it off majorly.
I love it. Right. So one of the things, y'all, if y'all don't know, and Joe, I'm gonna bring up the studio right while we
Okay.
talking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
let me share my screen out. All right. Oh, let me see. That's sharing the wrong one. Give me 1 second, good people. There we go. So I'm sharing the studio up. So you talked about the video, and one of the things I wanted to get across to people as they are listening and hearing this, right, is the
Mhm.
fact that we got great assets we sitting on, and I know a
Right,
lot of people watching. Like
right.
y'all got good stuff. One of the major mistakes I made is that we repurpose this stuff every other way but YouTube.
Yeah,
So we cut it up into shorts. We make reels. We make other clips from it. We make sizzle reels out of it. We make
yeah,
blog posts. We've been doing everything, Gerald, with actually putting this content on YouTube. And when
yeah.
we took it, right, it took off. It did a couple of good things, right? It took off and went fast.
Yeah,
It was noticeable as pop culture, right? It had like a couple good things mixed together. But what
yeah,
I love more than anything, and you can speak to this, is that they were long form videos, so it rack up watch time quickly.
yeah, yeah. Quickly. I mean, the biggest thing that you all have to understand when it comes to YouTube is you can do the SEO correctly, you can do the titles correctly, you can do the thumbnails correctly, but you have to have great, engaging content. If you all look at that video and look at the ways in which Lamar is interviewing Master P and how Lamar helps to bring the questions out of Master P, and Master P is just he's simply a master at answering those questions because it's so truthful and engaging, and in fact, once that content started kind of kicking up a little bit, I thought it was going to be local traffic, meaning I thought it was the traffic just going to be in the United States. Well, as long as, and I don't know if you can bring it up on your side, if you go ahead, you go to analytics or go to advanced analytics and then click on cities, you'll see places like the UK, like parts of Africa, like, I mean, it's going global. And so with that video, it didn't just reach a national audience, it's reaching a global audience. And so what happens is this: on the TSP channel, there's a lot of people that are potentially listening to us right now or getting ready to listen to us that are in the UK right now, that are in other countries right now. And so that's the significance of quality long form content that's good, engaging content. It will begin to, it's like a magnet. It begins to bring about people from all over the world into the TSP channel. And I mean, sky's the limit from there.
Yeah,
Sky's the
I love that, Joe. And I'm looking right now, right, and I don't know if you can see my screen, but I see London, of course, right. We out there next
right,
month. Shout out to UK Black Business Week. I see London. I see Pretoria, South Africa.
right.
I see
Canada.
yeah, Toronto, Canada, Nairobi, Kenya,
Yeah,
right.
right,
Yeah,
right,
like you said, like all these different places over the world being attracted, and hundreds of views from each one of those different places, and hundreds of
right,
watch
right.
hours as well.
And so that's what I look at, Lamar. So when I'm so the biggest thing is when I go ahead and I dig into the analytics, I'm looking at not just the number of views, but I'm looking at watch hours. Watch hours is going to tell me, you know what? These are the people in this country. Wow. So you may have a lower amount of views. If you have high watch hours, it tells me the amount of interest that a particular country has when it comes to your content. As you begin to look at that content and dig into that data, I can go ahead, take that data and find out different places of where people are essentially looking at you and engaging with the content the most. It's just like, okay, so we can go ahead and reverse engineer this. I can pull keywords out of there. I can pull additional data out of there. And I'm just like, whoa, Why don't we do like the suggestion that I had the other day? Why don't we do this city? And I was like, because those are the people, New York City, they at the top of the list. And I don't know who you know, but yeah, you're known in the NYC. I will tell you
Yeah.
that.
And you know, and
Yeah,
that's good, right? I chucked it down just the countries, and I'm seeing, like I said, after United States and UK, South Africa, Canada, Kenya, Netherlands, Jamaica, Australia, Trinidad, Tobago, Nigeria, Bahamas, Germany, right? Some of those I would expect. There's definitely some other ones on there that I wouldn't necessarily expect, right?
right,
But now we're
right.
getting their views to the actual channel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the thing about it is like, for instance, you think about a brand like Master P, right? He's been out there for 20 plus years, 20, 30 years or what have you, if not longer. And he essentially, that interview, along with the keywords, is taking you into these different areas. People just don't know Master P now in these other countries. People know who Lamar Tyler is. And that's the significance. People now know who Traffic Sales and Profit is. And so now it's pulling them back into the channel and they're subscribing. It's just like, well, wait a minute. Now we've gone pretty much global in a lot of these different areas. So it brings about a lot of significance when it comes to traffic sales and profit.
Yeah. Now, Gerald, I know the people saying, "Well, Lamar, you know that's Master P. That's guaranteed it's gonna pop." But can we say
Right.
that? Like, it's not actually guaranteed it's gonna pop. Just it was Master P. And can we talk
Yeah.
about some of the things you had to do in the beginning to actually make sure it popped? You know, we talked a lot about the title of it. We, you know,
Yeah.
we got like a group kind of chat conversation, right? So we
Yeah.
went like
Yeah.
with the team back and forth a lot about, you know, what the titles and the thumbnails were going to be, right? So can
Right.
we talk about some of those pieces and how we kind of specified it in some of the testing that you did?
Yeah. So what I do essentially is I have a couple of tools I talked about last time, right? So one of the tools is called Morning Fame. I go ahead and I check Morning Fame out. Morning fa.me. I check out Morning Fame to go ahead and look at different thumbnails. The first thing I do. Second thing I do is I go to Google and I'll go ahead and I'll do a keyword research. I'll type in Master P. And then I'll go ahead and I'll come in, I'll make a suggestion as we did. And then what will happen is I'll go ahead and I'll put it into, hey guys, what do you guys think about this title? I'm thinking that I'm looking at SEO, these type of things. And then what they'll do is they'll go ahead and give me some feedback. We switched out the title. I go back into YouTube. I log out of YouTube. I don't do it from inside the account. In other words, I have two windows open. One I'm logged into, the other window I'm logged out of. When I log out of, when I'm doing it outside of a logged in account, I'm trying to see how this keyword is going to respond. It's a little bit of something that I taught myself in the past, and trying to see if it'll rank. Will these keywords rank? What will this do? Having done all of that and then looked at the thumbnail, first of all, when the thumbnail came about, I'm like, man, this is, if I went ahead and I go to YouTube and I type in Master P and I looked at the first 15, 20 thumbnails and I'm looking at the thumbnail, I'm like, man, this is just going to win off by itself. And so I'm looking at the thumbnail because it's a clickable, engaging thumbnail that entices people to go ahead and click. Now, the thing that I didn't know was within the thumbnail, I didn't know about the coloring. One of the things that you all will see with the Master P thumbnail is you'll see some yellow lettering along with some blue coloring. That's telling me that with regards to the traffic sales and profit brand, that for whatever reason, people find that enticing. And so when we did that thumbnail as well as other thumbnails, we did thumbnails that were similar to that thumbnail. And so when Alex was going ahead and doing thumbnails, I'm just like, yeah, this one of these is going to pop. And so we had one thumbnail that was on there for about 2 weeks or so. And we recently had to switch out that old thumbnail to put a new thumbnail on there. Why did I do that? Because click-through rate I noticed was dropping a little bit. And so what I did was I went ahead and I did something called, YouTube has it now, it's called a thumbnail test, where you test 3 different thumbnails. You don't know who's going to be the winner. Like on that one Master P video, I thought the one with Lamar and Master P, I thought that was probably the nicest one. But that didn't end up winning within the thumbnails that we had. And so YouTube is doing a better job in understanding that thumbnails these days, they're a lot more significant. In other words, you have to find ways to get people to click on you can have the best information. If you got a poor thumbnail, it's going to be challenging because YouTube is growing so much. So traffic sales and profit and the little team that we have doing a great job of going ahead and getting thumbnails together, because testing is the key when it comes to those thumbnails. It's important, guys. It's important.
I love it, right? I love the emphasis on we can't be attached. We can't be emotionally attached to what we like, how it look,
Yeah,
right? I got like a little running
yeah.
joke in the office. Somebody be like, man, I don't like that thumbnail. And I'm like, yo, it ain't about what we like. It's about what the
What
algorithm
works?
serve, what the
What
people click
works?
on.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
So
true. It's
I love
true.
that, right? It is not about what we like. It is about,
Yeah,
hey, what the test show and the test come back and do.
yeah,
So like I said, I want to also talk about, because again, I know people like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't have like a masterpiece video, right? So I just want to use that because for everybody listening, like the one point I want to point out is that a lot of us have assets that we're sitting on, right? Now
right.
that one, when it came out, I was like, yo, we run this on YouTube, whatever. But what it made me realize is like, yo, like we got other stuff like this. And it may or may
Yeah,
not do the numbers right. The masterpiece video is up to almost 88,000 views, right? So it'll be at 100,000 soon. But like I'm like,
yeah,
yo, they might not be 100, but yo, give me a couple good 50s, a couple good
yeah,
75s, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
we can run it up and get what we need to get. So
yeah,
it really just dawned on me. It opened up the light bulb for me, Joe, to say, yo, you know what? Like this other interview, this one or this other interview, that. Last
yeah,
night we released the interview with Jermaine Dupree.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we, and we again like using the things that we learned on that previous video around thumbnails, around titles, around those things to try to
yeah,
implement here and get this
yeah,
one moving in the same way, hopefully. Um,
yeah,
but for everybody watching again saying, well, Lamar is different. Let's go to the convo page because again, the convo page only had like low 200s when we
right.
started. Now we've hit the amazing and elusive like first 1,000. Right? I feel like yo, that 1,000 don't seem like a big number. You get on YouTube, that joint harder than you think.
Right.
Right? People just like, yo, I'm just using on Instagram. I just get 1,000 real quick and this or that.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's a little
yeah,
bit different, right? But it's good. Like what
yeah.
have you seen and what has been the main keys for you, Gerald, on the convo page? And while we're doing that, I'll bring up the studio too.
The interesting thing about the combo is, and we'll talk about that one hot video that had just like a burst, right? So if you look at the combo, you look at a lot of the thumbnails. The thumbnails are great, but when it comes to the black business icons, you'll begin to see like the thumbnails they're cool, they're historic, they have a historic feel to them. Some of the images are like black and white or what have you. The interesting thing that stands out to me about the convo is that very thing, the convo, the conversation. If you go ahead, you click on that video that has over 6,000 views, you'll notice that the engaging conversation between Lamar and Freddie is actually, I started digging into that and I dug into the individual analytics and then I started digging into the comments and then I messaged Lamar, was like, what the heck is like, people are really loving y'all. I think y'all need to go live with this. And so this is the thing, guys, and this is what I want you to go ahead and keep in mind. The thing that I did with the combo is this. We did the SEO. I got the thumbnails. The biggest thing that stands out to me with that was the engaging content on that particular video. On those videos, you'll notice that the content, the historic content, the conversation that's going on back and forth. Number one, it's something that's needed. The thing that I didn't talk about was when I dug into the analytics of the convo, I started digging into the analytics of traffic, sales, and profit. And I'm just like, yo, these people are they're once again, a lot of these people are coming from New York and Atlanta and that type of thing. And so there is a strong demand for historic content. And I think that if I dug a little deeper, I think that there's a super niche there that can actually explode. It's two men, it's two black men having a conversation about the significance of history. Something like that, that's what's telling me is that is in huge demand. Why? If you look at the comments on that video and people saying, I love it. Somebody said, where's the series? Almost like people are like looking for a television show when it comes to that specific information. So the thing that stands out to me is not just the analytics itself, it's the engaging content going back and forth and talking about the significance of the past, right? It's insane. It's something that's there that I need to go ahead, because I mean, I only been on this, what, a little over 2 months, that I need to go ahead and go back and dig a little further and just be like, you know what, this is it. It's scary how big, and I'm probably, even though Travis Tells Prophecy is huge, that series within itself, there's something getting ready to go on there. So if y'all haven't subscribed yet, tune into the convo. I'm telling you, I would love for them. Like for me, it's telling me that they honestly, tomorrow, I think people want to see you live. You and Freddie go live.
Hey, say less. Monday and Freddie after this, be like, yo, we got a job to do. We got some more work to do around that and make it happen. So we'll definitely be doing that. And again, right, for everybody, one of my big things, right, is like I said, because last time was like, yo, we count down towards 90 days. The goal, try to get 10,000 and 1,000 at least, right? And I'm like, yo, like we're going. But one of the beautiful things I've seen about YouTube on both, because we had this video going on the convo on a smaller scale, right, and Mass P video going, on the larger scale over there. But the thing that really popped out to me is, hey, right, you was waiting on that one video, and that one is like you got to be consistent enough just to hit that one video. And for us, we hit the one video with each of them, right? Eventually, we hit the one video with each of them, and then when it did, it took off. Because Joe, I was looking, and I'll share my screen back for everybody. But as I was actually looking at the content and how it flowed, let me find that again. That one video, you talk about like, hey, in that first 1,000 subscribers, which we're a little bit over that now because it's still moving. But that one video has
like 65 or a little over 6,000 views.
6,000 views, and also there you go. Let me show it. Let me share my screen back out. 6,000 views. But then what it also has is it has 381 subscribers.
Yeah.
So when we talk about like, yo, like how can we get to 1,000 if like this one video lifted like 40% of the weight and said, yo, like I got it. And then the other thing that happened, y'all, we saw is that because it's part of a series, as people were actually watching this, they were starting to trickle down and pick up on the other episodes. Like this one video gave all the rest of the episodes a lift. And then the other episodes, why not getting 400 subscribers, were getting subscribers too, people sharing the content out, and it really got things to moving.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head right there, Lamar. With not just the combo, but with both channels, I want you all to understand something. Being consistent is key. There is a genius in your ability to be consistent. Because you don't know, you think that this particular video was going to hit. Well, it's probably the one that's the least suspecting video that's going to hit, and it'll hit like at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. It's insane. In doing digging into the analytics on both channels, one of the things I've noticed is there are bumps that happen, and I think it's Traffic Sales and Profit channel. Sometimes it's at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, what the heck is that? Maybe that's somebody from a different time zone. Maybe you'll get these different bumps. But just know that all of you that are tuning in right now, just be consistent when it comes to uploading videos. Number one. Number two, don't be scared to engage with your audience because they want to see more information. Don't just say, you know what, thank you, come again. Nah. Link them to a playlist series. Link them to the video. Link them to different information so that they can go ahead and view it and then share it out to family and friends.
Hey, I love that, Joe, because actually, as you were saying that, I just was about to share the screen to mention that, right? I'm in the comments for that post you talked about, just the video of me and Freddie. You got like, 6,500 views in like a week. And like you said, right, like as they're commenting, hey, you saying, hey, keep going no matter what. I'm keeping that. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Hey, and make sure you check out the other stories in the series. That's one of the things, like I'm real, from the beginning of me being on social, probably 15 years ago, I've always been real good at, commenting back on the comments and engaging. But I love how like you engage with them and then you like, yo, here's more to directly like push every person into those lines of those playlists and then make it happen. Yeah.
It's important because people don't know that there's a series. They come to that video. It's just like, well, wait a minute. It's a series. I'll point them to the video. I'll point them to the series. I'll point them to some place and then instruct them. Tell them what to do. Hey, please like, subscribe. You know what I mean? So it's just really just engaging with that audience is crucial. It's crucial.
All right, awesome. Hey, Jerry, you got a few more minutes?
Yeah.
All right, cool, y'all. Hey, if you got questions, drop them in the chat. I want to see if we can answer any of y'all questions around y'all tubes, right? Let me know if this is helpful for you. Give us some hearts and all that type of good stuff. And we're going to try to do this, right? We're trying to do this, so we'll come back next month, too. So, Gerald, while we're waiting on see if anybody got questions. So, for you, like, over the next 30 days, what's the goal?
More consistency. I'm not gonna. So it's something I call playlist hijacking. But I got to talk about that next time. Obviously, more SEO, and the ability to something that you kind of started last time, right? And I wanted to go ahead and mention this to you because you have two channels. You can go ahead and have them play off of one another, should you choose, right? Different videos. This channel can lift this channel up and vice versa, sharing different things. Obviously, more email send outs, social media, those types of things. And then at the same time, one of the biggest things, especially with the one that has 6,500, is seeing if additional thumbnails can go ahead and help boost that back up again. Maybe another 1, 2, or 3 different thumbnails so that we can go ahead and test that just to see, because that video, for whatever reason, well, it's not even whatever reason, it's y'all. It's you all engaging, but to entice the click, to see if we can go ahead and maybe potentially go ahead and update that thumbnail to do 2 or 3 tests and see what we can go ahead and do. So, yeah.
I love it. Good stuff. A good reminder for everybody, y'all. That thumbnail and the titles is important, right? You know what, Gerald? You know, I was talking to Ronnie the other day because I was reading a book, and you know, since we've been doing this, I've been diving into learn as much about YouTube as possible. And what it really reminded me of is me and Ronnie's blogging days. Because in our blogging days with Black and Married with Kids, we did not write articles. That's not how we started. We wrote titles. And we would think like 90% of our time was built off of like, yo, what's the titles? Because if people ain't have a good title, you ain't getting the click. It don't matter what's inside the article. So we would spend 90% of the time just thinking about like, yo, like what's the title? And me and her would just like throw off each other titles. If we had a topic, we might come up with 20, just pre-AI. You know, I'm OG out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like free. You can't just jokers in there now just typing in chatty, what should I? You know, me and Ronnie had to really make stuff up. So we have a top, we might make 25, 50 headlines and just bounce off each other, try to figure out like, okay, what's the best one? Because again, if the headline ain't hitting, they not clicking on the article no matter what's in it. And I feel like this, right? If the thumbnail and the title not hitting, it don't matter what the content that video is, but that's your gateway into the actual video.
It is. And at the same time, so it's like, so you got title, you got thumbnail, you got some SEO, right? Because so there's a reason I'll go ahead and do. So if you look at the description of Master P, right? There's a reason I put in Master P in the beginning of the description and then Master P beginning with it. What I was trying to do when I logged out was to see if I can go ahead and get that Master P just up there, just to stay up there as long as possible. Because once the algorithm kind of slows down, I still want the SEO. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Titles, them thumbnails is huge because you can have a great title, but if you have a thumbnail that's not enticing people or not interesting enough, and YouTube is making it that much more important to where they're doing split tests, having that thumbnail now, it didn't used to be like that, but now, yeah, them titles and thumbnails, they will entice that click. But at the same time, those things will entice the click. If you have poor content, people are going to click away. But because both channels have incredible content, people stay, they're engaged, and increases watch time, et cetera, et cetera. And you have something that a lot of people don't have on the TSP channel. On the Convo channel, same thing. That, like I said, I think y'all, you and Freddie, what y'all are doing on the Convo, they want y'all live. I mean, yeah.
Awesome. Definitely. I love it. Hey, real quick, let's take a few quick questions. What's up? Sure, Don, good to see you. Hey, somebody, well, let's do the first one. We'll take an order. He just said, are live videos push higher in the algorithm than pre-made videos?
Yes, they can, especially initially. I've done lives, I've done pre-mades. I'll be honest. Most of my traffic has come from the pre-mades. The lives initially, bam. you will go ahead and you will get there because it's a people want that live feel. Now, will they stay high? It depends on the content. Is it engaging? Does it get people to go ahead and like and then comment and share? Right. So and additional watch time. So yes, lives initially, absolutely. But if they will they continue to stay up there? That depends on the content. As long as your content is quality, along with the audience itself, I mean, game over, game over.
Cool.
But most of my views, particularly on my channel, and obviously on the Traffic Sales and Profit, as well as this the Combo channel, have come from pre-made videos. So
I love it. Good stuff. Somebody said, what service do you use to help with thumbnails, graphic design, or Fiverr, Upwork, or someplace someone else? I'll tell them we do it, then Gerald, I'll leave it over for you.
yeah,
So we got in-house. This is an interesting story for y'all. We got in-house graphics. We got a vendor that we use too, right? Panda that does a lot of our graphic stuff. But when we was getting this Mass P video out, and I wanted it out quick, like they both had jobs already they're working on, so it's going to delay it. So actually, I don't know if Gerald know this. That Master P, when it actually came out of Fiverr.
I was gonna say that was gonna say that was mine. I just it's
Yeah.
Fiverr,
Yeah.
Fiverr. Wow.
So I was like, even with all that internal graphics team, right? So some of the later ones they've done, but when we first started that initial one, and that initial one was what we had and what we were working on. It literally
Yeah.
was I went to Fiverr, and because of the price of Fiverr, what I did, and I always recommend this to everybody with Fiverr, just period. What I did is I started with I went out and just started with multiple people. So I hired two different people because you never know. Like Fiverr, you get what you pay for sometimes. But it's a million people that do YouTube thumbnails. I hired two people I liked, and we gave two people two different jobs and kind of see how they came back with. One person was great, but then they started getting slow with revisions, whatever. But we ended up getting what we needed to get. So, and Joe, you said you use Fiverr too.
Fiverr's a go-to. Fiverr. I used to have a guy back in the days when I used to really do thumbnails hot and heavy called, his name was Thumb God. And he was ridiculous. And he just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened. But yeah, Fiverr. For all of y'all listening, Fiverr is, but just have two or three people on backup.
Yes. Hey, what's up, Jen? Jennifer Jasper say, is posting once a week enough?
What's the size of her? So if you have a small channel, right? So let's say, for instance, small meaning under 200, under 500, whatever it is. I'm going to encourage at least 2 to 3 times a week, at least, because number one, YouTube is changing. There was a time when you had to go ahead, and I would tell people, hey, you know what, post every day. You don't really have to do that. I would say pay attention to your analytics, but if you have a small channel, see if you can go ahead and get that to at least 2 to 3 times a week so that you can go ahead and start to begin to build some type of momentum. But at the same time, pay attention to your analytics because your audience will speak to you, but they'll speak to you through the data, right? Just pay attention to your analytics. But if you're just starting out, you're trying to get some momentum, and this is for all of you, don't worry about going, because YouTube is changing. Don't worry about going ahead and posting every day. Forget that. Allow the content to breathe. Give it some time to breathe. Post every other day. On a mixture of both channels that are right now, the sweet spot that I'm seeing is anywhere between 3 to 4 times a week. And that is enough to go ahead and grow and engage. And I mean, but don't overload your channels with posting every day. And know this too, right? The name of the channel is YouTube. YouTube. So don't forget that element when it comes to your channel, right? Just you could get to know your audience and what your audience likes based upon the analytics.
Awesome, good stuff. Next question is, what's too long or too short for YouTube? Is there such a thing?
Nah. I mean, it's interesting, right? So let's say Traffic Sales and Profit. There was a video, a short that blew up, and it got like 250. What's that, Lamar? On that one short, it got 250,000 views, just whatever. Mm-hmm. And this Master P video, that is a long form piece of content, right? 40, 45 minutes. And that's getting views as well. So there
True.
is no too short, too long. What it is this. There seems to be almost like two different avenues of YouTube. One takes long form video, the other takes short videos. So what I would do is mix it up, right? Post some long form video and some short videos. So if you're going to go ahead and go every week, you could post 2 long videos, 1 short video, or 2 short videos, 1 long video if you're going to post 3 times a week. But just make sure you're doing longs and shorts, because lots of times you don't even know which one is going to explode.
Yep. That is true. And we'll do last question. How do you figure out the best time to publish content?
Analytics, right? So if you go ahead, you go to your analytics, it's in the back office there. I think it's analytics, and you're going to go to audience, and you can scroll down. And what YouTube has done is they've done a better job at bringing about more tools when it comes to the creator and the person that's consuming the content. And so there's a way in your back office where you can kind of see, and it'll highlight some things, and it'll have different times and different things and different those types of things. And so if you have enough traffic, and I think that was a challenge with the Convo in the beginning, that chart didn't show up. And so you have to have a certain amount of traffic starting to come in order for that chart to begin to show up. And so it is definitely in the back office of your YouTube channel, guys.
And I just, for everybody, I just showed that on the TSP page, where at like the darker times with more people watching and everything like that. So I love that thing, right? Like just getting and this is the key again, right? Just getting enough traffic so you got enough data to actually analyze and to be able to optimize off of it from there.
Right. Yep.
All right. Cool. Yep. All right, Gerald. So we said next month we're gonna come kind of set goals for it. You said we're gonna talk about mistakes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about mistakes. Things, guys. I want to be transparent as possible when it comes to, and I'm trusting that Clea is gonna be on because I owe her an apology. So we're gonna talk about mistakes that I've made next month when it comes to the back office and just doing things right in the back office of both traffic, sales, and profit, and the Convo. So yeah.
All right, so if y'all want to hear these mistakes, make sure you check back in. Hey, do us a favor, y'all. You want to see everything we're doing live in real time, because every week we uploading stuff, changing stuff. We want to look at our thumbnails, the titles, what we do. Hey, notice that, hey, it looked like it's a different thumbnail, because I saw one thumbnail for the Jermaine Dupri thing at first, but now it's a different thumbnail, right? All those things, the best way is to get locked in, subscribe to the channels, subscribe to Traffic, Sales, and Profit for the TSP channel, and the Convo is just at Watch the Convo is the handle for it. My team will drop both of those down into the links for you to make sure y'all got what you need. And I'm excited, y'all, right? We're on the move. We're growing both channels. Yeah. Both channels. Gerald said we can get to 100,000.
I'm telling you, it's what you have. I mean, you're going global, and people love it. How do I know that they love it? Look at the comments, look at the likes, look at the engagement, look at the shares, look at all these different things. And so it's just like, whoa. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So, Gerald, appreciate you, man. We'll be talking, I'm sure, later today at some point via email, like every other day, y'all. Hey, y'all, if you enjoyed today, again, right, make sure you subscribe to the Convo, Watch the Convo, and Traffic, Sales, and Profit here on YouTube. And then leave us some comments. Drop some emojis, right, all that type of stuff, too. We'll be back, y'all, next month, October, talking about what this 90-day sprint looks like. And hopefully y'all are able to take some of the things we talk about, implement them as well. You want to finish this conversation or continue it, go over to the Traffic, Sales, and Profit Facebook group, and let's talk about what you just learned. Everybody have a great day. Peace.
I'll take care.